Max Payne 2 is an action game developed by Rockstar and Remedy Studios in 2003. Remedy Studios is a Swedish developer who has made other games like Alan Wake, and they are currently developing Quantum Break, which is going to be an Xbox One exclusive. No one really knows when it's coming out. Basically, it's like The Last Guardian for Microsoft. Not in terms of concept, but in terms of release date, as in it doesn't really have one. Anyways, so it tells the story after Max Payne 1, when all was said and done, and Max is going through some weird mental stuff right now. He's really not happy about his wife and kids dying. Mona is, kind of like messing with him in emotional states. Then they team up and they're like, okay, let's fight crime. Beautiful. So the story itself is actually quite good. It's very well written, it's a lot like the first game. I would say the nightmare sequences aren't quite as scary as the first one, but overall, very solid story. I really loved it. The plot twists were very well written and well executed, and I didn't see them coming. So it's definitely great for someone who's playing it the first time, even better for the second playthrough as well. The gameplay itself is very similar to the first game. I would say it's refined, but the first one was already so good, so the second one is just as tight. The controls work very well on mouse and keyboard. I haven't played it on controller or console, so I wouldn't know. But it's super easy to find and play. The actual controls themselves are very responsive, and the gameplay is very tight. Very action-packed, very intense corridor sequences, as well as some open world, not open world, but like wider, more leveled sequences. Like you're either fighting enemies from above or below. And the slowdown time is back, and you actually get a couple more perks, because the more guys you kill in slow motion in succession, the longer it lasts. The level design itself is pretty similar to the first game. I would say it's a little more intricate due to the higher budget. Unfortunately, the one thing I have to say is that you only get the easiest difficulty when you play through the game the first time. It's not so much a problem for me, but for people that like to play games on a more challenging difficulty, just beware. Now, as far as the presentation goes, the graphics for 2003 are outstanding. Character models look very good, and the facial textures are out of this world for 2003. And the animations themselves look pretty good. I don't really have any problems with that. The cutscenes are very similar to the comic book style of the first game. The levels themselves are varied. They're interesting to look at. I never really feel like I'm playing the same level twice. And that's a good thing for an action game to do, because you're going to be doing a lot of running around and shooting, and you want your game to look varied. The levels do a very good job at illustrating that. The sound design is also very good. The soundtrack is not necessarily memorable. There are some memorable tracks, as well as the credits sequence music. But the overall sound design is very good. It's very explosive. Guns have an impact. The voice acting is top-notch. And finally, the replay value, I would say, is decent. Like, you have extra things to do, like challenges and stuff like that after the game is done. But my biggest complaint with Max Payne 2, which is a problem I'd say for most of the Max Payne games, is that Max Payne 2 is super short. Like, seriously, you can beat this game in 3 days. And these aren't even, like, super long playing sessions. These are, like, 2 hours apiece. The game is not long at all. But for how well put together it is, how stylish it is, how good the story is and the characters and just like everything about it, it's very worth your playthroughs. It's a really good game, super solid. It's always on sale. Even if it's not on sale, it's only like, what, $10? And yeah, so I hope this review was helpful, and thanks for watching.